Gone and forgotten. Not the epitaph I'd hoped for. My own grave. How depressing. There was a water-soaked letter by my graveside. There's a letter at my graveside.
Who's it from?
Ilsa.
Who's Ilsa?
An old flame of mine from the good old days.
How old?
Old enough to be good.
What does it say?
It appears to be a love letter.
Dear Lewton, I'm writing this letter even though I know I will never have the courage to give it to you. I have to leave Ankh-Morpork. I can't tell you why. I wish I could. These last few days have meant the world to me, but I haven't the strength to tell you to your face that I can never be yours. I am married to an Agatean man named Two Conkers, and I thought I would never see him again. He was dead to me, and my life was empty. Please believe me, I never meant to hurt you. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I will always look back on the Hotel Pseudopolis fondly.
You all right?
Sure. This is just one of those big emotional scenes like in the Clickies.
I suppose a bone is out of the question. Maybe a dog biscuit? Wag, wag?
The scent of a woman around my grave. The smell of Gaspode the Wonder Dog, not unlike that of a privy carpet. Something had passed through the cemetery and left a very strange trail. I followed the magenta scent with a certain sense of grim inevitability. I already knew where it would lead. Having a chalk outline outside just didn't put people in the mood to gamble. It was probably the only time in my life I'd had an effect on high society. I couldn't think of a good reason to erase the chalk outline other than the giddy thrill of vandalism. There was some kind of moss on the ground where I had been killed. It obviously didn't grow here, which means it came from somewhere else. The question was where? Down by the river, the smell of the Ankh was... oh, I don't know. It was pretty bad, anyway. The green scent smelled like vegetation. The scent was too faint to remember. The magenta trail led to the site of my murder. I guess it must be the murderer's trail. I followed my murderer's trail back to the Temple of Small Gods. I was on the other side of a stained glass window with some kind of angel on it. I could see that someone was on the other side of the window. I'd have to look around inside the temple to be sure of who it was. I called around at Pseudopolis Yard, which caused a bit of a stir. Seems news of my death had spread. I asked for Nobby, and someone told me he was out. I decided to head back to my office and take stock of the situation. When I returned to my office for the first time since my murder, a man was already there. I knew he was a man because Corporal Nobbs was the only person in Ankh-Morpork who has to carry a letter to confirm his species. He's the kind of man you get itchy from just talking to. There must be something here. Hello, Nobby.
Lewton, you're
alive?
I was just... I was just cleaning out your desk.
Yes, of everything of value.
Didn't they bury you?
Rumors of my death have been slightly exaggerated.
Meaning?
Meaning I'm not dead, I just got buried.
Yeah, don't tell me the details.
Suit yourself. Nice crowbar you're using to jimmy open my drawers.
Yeah. I sort of borrowed it from the evidence room.
That's okay. I sort of borrowed it from a cart.
Oh, I searched Reagan's body. There were 2 tiny bite marks on it.
Really? I guess it was more suspicious than you thought.
Well, I ought to go. Looks like you don't need your things collecting.
How goes the case?
The counterweight killings. Oh, still not much progress. They wouldn't let me investigate it if they thought there would be.
How many murders do you guys think there are?
3. One of the patrician's clerks, the reader of satirical occultism up at Unseen University, and one of the city's richest merchants.
There'd be 3 more if you counted Mundy, Reagan, and Malachite.
I suppose so.
Still not convinced?
Well, Vimes isn't convinced.
Even though I've been cleared?
I have to get back to the yard.
Nobby didn't seem very comfortable around me. I didn't know if it was because of my return from the grave or because I caught him trying to steal everything of value that wasn't tied down. Although with Nobby, even if you tied it down, he'd steal the string. The only thing I was sure of was that my next step was to look into the counterweight killings. I had a feeling I wasn't going to like what I found. My old trusty crowbar, stolen by me from the golem, then stolen from me by the watch, stolen by Nobby from the evidence cabinet, and finally back into my hands again. There was a poetic injustice about it all. The cloud of teal-colored scent was the smell of tobacco and petty theft. Definitely Nobby's. The maroon scent wasn't recent. It suggested the tangy red of iron. Around the door was a strong, dark cyan odor with an earthy overtone. There was a faint haze of purple in the room. I didn't know who it belonged to, but there was something about it. Most of the statues were a mystery to me, but I recognized the odd face. There was Zephyrus, the god of slight breezes, and Lamentatio, the goddess of interminable opera. I thought I could see FedEx, messenger of the gods, in one corner. I was drawn to Mooncalf by his religious fervor. He was the kind of man who wouldn't miss a single event in the temple, no matter how trivial. He also struck me as the kind of fanatic who knew 100 words for infidel, and not one for compromise. Behind Mooncalf was a beautiful stained glass window depicting Morphine, the angel of dreams, passing the recipe for the Discworld's first pizza to a mortal. If I strained, I thought I could just about see a bay leaf on the pizza.
You with the hat. Have you accepted Anu Anu into your heart?
The name isn't you with the hat, it's Lewton. And no, I haven't accepted Anu Anu into my heart. Why should I?
For it is written in the book of Kelpie, he who has not the spirit of Anu Anu in his heart shall have his heart eaten by the Divine One on the day of judgment.
I'll take that chance.
Or you may mock, infidel, but the day of judgment is coming, mark my words. The signs are clear, the omens are unquestionable, the stars are right and the auguries are undeniable.
What about the auspices?
The auspices are fair to light with a small chance of Judgment Day later in the eon.
I think you're taking the auspice. Did your church buy that window?
We are not a church, we're a cult.
What's the difference?
Demographics. Churches appeal to the high society element. Good for funding, but bad for grassroots support. Now your average cult has much more of a street-level membership. Not so much money, but easier to get things done.
Well, did your cult buy that window?
No. It was purchased by the eternal seers of Revelation Joe many years ago. It depicts the moment when the divine prophet was given the recipe for pizza by the Creator.
How come you're working in front of it?
The eternal seers ran out of support decades ago.
It figures. Now let me get this straight. The eternal seers of Revelation Joe worshipped pizza.
No, my child. The legends say that the first pizza was created by the Clatchian mystic Ronron Revelation Joe Sawadi, who claimed to have been given the recipe in a dream by the creator of the Discworld himself. Allegedly, the creator said that the pizza was what he had intended all along. Those who have seen the original say that what the creator had in mind was a small cheese and pepperoni affair, with a few black olives, and things like mountains and seas got added out of last-minute enthusiasm, as so often happens.
So who were the eternal seers?
The survivors of the schism of the Turnwise Ones and the resulting Grand Jihad.
Grand Jihad?
Yes. After the deaths of some 25,000 people, the faithful were allowed to add one small bay leaf to the recipe.
So is this divine figure in the window the creator?
Oh no. It is blasphemy for any to depict the rat face of the creator.
Because of his divine stature?
No. Because it is clear that world creation is not a divine act, but a rather straightforward mechanical function. Hence, to praise the creator would be blasphemy.
How does the creator feel about that?
He seems content. He's had some success with his design, apparently. The details are sketchy.
So, here I am, a fresh punter. Why should I choose your religion over anyone else's?
Because Anu Anu is the true god of gods, more mighty and strong than all the others put together.
About half the gods in this temple alone claim to be the true god of gods.
But Anu Anu reveals himself through his divine miracles.
Such as?
Ever looked at your thumb? Ever really thought about it? Ever considered what you couldn't do if you didn't have a thumb?
Anu Anu is the god of thumbs?
No, but Anu Anu bites away the thumbs of the non-believer.
I'm not convinced. Anything else?
Join the cult of Anu Anu now to receive a free faux pearl statuette of the great god Anu Anu, a $90 value, absolutely free. Be the envy of your friends as they roast in the fires of Sogorop.
Thanks, but I'll pass. So what is Anu Anu the god of?
Anu Anu is above being bound to one single concept or idea. He is power incarnate.
Come on, level with me. What is he the god of?
It's not to be discussed with non-believers.
So this is less of a religion and more of a lucky dip.
Oh, I feel sorry for you on Judgment Day.
You keep mentioning Judgment Day. What do you mean?